It's time. So where is the camera facing? Hello everyone. Welcome back. If you were here earlier, move this out of the way. Go higher, probably pointing down because I'll be on the mat. Welcome back to Living Well Together. Oh, you can't see my head? I have to stand really far back. Wow. Let's just put this up. Welcome back to Living Well Together. This channel is all about how to live well in a group, together, and with yourself. You might be alone, you might be living in an apartment with a roommate. Whatever it is, this channel will help you. And we do a bunch of different things. We do fitness, so that's strength training. We do flexibility, that's the session I'm about to do right now. We do mobility, where we move about, and actually we might actually turn that into dancing. Some people are like, we should do dancing. I'm a terrible dancer, but who knows? With a little practice, we can all be good at anything. And we also do mindfulness. I host mindfulness sessions every day, twice a day. I highly invite you to come to that, as well as connection-based activities for deepening your connections with people, and one day for discussing a particular topic that I bring up, usually in social ethics or technology or something like that. Something I think is worth looking at to broaden people's perspectives. So welcome if you're new here. And yeah, I'll be doing let's see, I think it's 30 minutes. Yeah, this is a 30-minute stretching routine. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing is going to be doing a full body portion. So we'll be stretching pretty much every muscle in the body, according to this woman, Live in Leggings, who I took those full body exercises from. And then I'll be doing progressions toward my flexibility goals. And for me, that's the forward fold. I want to basically be able to get my head, here, I'll have to aim this down, touching, you can't even see from this angle here. I would like to get my head to touch my shins. That's my stretch goal, no pun intended. And then I want to be able to do a split, a middle split, which I'm working on, and a front split, which I'm also working on. So that's what I'll be working in here in these 30 minutes. Stick around if you're interested, or if you just want to watch and chat, that's fine too. With that all said, let's begin. I'm just going to do a quick 3-minute warm-up. Don't want to stretch a cold body. Although it's been a fairly warm day. But it's almost fall. It's going to get real cold real soon. Although perhaps not as cold as it used to get. So I'm in New England now. And if you've ever been around here, you know how cold it can get. But I just don't see as much snow as we used to get. I remember when I was a kid, pretty much every year, you get 3 or 4 feet of snow every month. There's snow everywhere, all the time. Nowadays, there's not even a lot of snow on Christmas. Sometimes it doesn't even snow until after Christmas. I'm gonna do some push-ups. Again, I'm just warming up my body here. Don't forget your water. I did. It's over here. Jump squats. I don't know, you probably only see my feet. Oh, whatever. Here, how about that? I'm too tall. Can't really see my whole body at once. Either it's my feet or my head. All right, down again for some dive bombers. Whew. All right, archer squats. If you're following along, don't necessarily try to go as deep as me. Do whatever's comfortable. You'll get lower over time. Straddle rotations. This one's a good one. Opposite hand to opposite ankle. Look up, hand in the sky. Feel a stretch in your hamstring, your back, your neck. All right. First thing I'm going to do before I do any further stretching is sciatic nerve flossing. If you're unfamiliar with this, well, there's a bunch of nerves going down your hamstring, down your leg, and they're not very flexible, but they do glide. So if we next up is the Jefferson curl. Now, I did this the other day, and like I mentioned, it really helps if you have a kettlebell or a dumbbell, some sort of weight, and it doesn't need to be very heavy if you're just starting out, but the main thing is find a platform. Let me aim this up since this chair is tall. Find a stool or platform. It doesn't have to be this tall. And you want to articulate the spine forward. It's not really a hip hinge, right? Where you keep your back straight. You definitely want to roll down bone by bone by bone in your spine. And you can be holding a light weight. If you're just starting and doing this for the first time, no weight is totally fine. You'll still feel something because, you know, your body has weight. But in time, you can take a little kettlebell or something heavy, and it'll pull you down, really get that stretch. And what you really want to do is active stretching. You want to be resisting the motion, right? Gone are the good old days where you can just sit there and be passive, right? That's how we used to do in the back in the day. Now we want to lengthen while we strengthen. So you'll feel your hamstrings when you lean forward like this. And if you have a weight especially, just doing little pulses like this will require your muscles to tense up and activate. And that'll help strengthen them. So they'll grow stronger and your body will allow you to go deeper. All right. So this is one of the ones from Live in Leggings. She offered 3 exercises that'll get most of the muscles in your body. So this is part of the general routine. I'm going to lower the camera here so you can see what I'm doing. And she didn't actually put a name for all these. I think she made them up. But this is kind of like, she called it, it's something like a reverse tabletop knee tap. So kind of go on all fours. Maybe I'll go to the side a little bit so you can see better. And if you can just hold this and that's all you can do, that's fine. Just squeeze those glutes if you want a little bit of an extra workout. But then if you can, put one knee down and ideally tap the ground. And you'll notice a massive hamstring or quad stretch. It does feel good. So I like this one. And of course, after you've done one side, do the other side. Now, I haven't been counting exactly, so don't follow me too precisely. But I do have a timer behind me, and you might be able to hear that if you listen very carefully. And as I always say, stretching is about finding the stretch, right? There's not necessarily a perfect form per se. Everyone's body is different, built a little differently. So you may have to adjust any particular pose to work with your specific body. So this is a low squat to forward fold that she had suggested. Get into a squat position like so. Should be pretty comfortable. If not, work towards it. And then put something like a little glove or something here. Make sure you're staying nice and tight. I'm just going to go up and down. You don't want to drop whatever that is between your abs and your leg. Just go up and down. It's kind of a hamstring stretch in there. And then the other one she offered, last on her list, I don't exactly know what it was called, but I call it something like the kneeling side reach. And I'm not even sure I remember exactly. I'm gonna have to pull up the video. What was it again? Yeah, I might. Let me just pull up the video real quick. See if I can find it. Where is it?
If you're feeling a little stiff and you walk for around 60 seconds, pausing.
Okay. I see. So basically, you have one bent leg, well, two bent legs. I guess she does something like this. And then your arm right here, your chest, proud, reaching backwards like so. Arm is on the inside. Oh, wow. It's kind of like a stretch on my lats a little bit, in my adductors. But I don't know, I'll try the other side. So she had her foot up, arm down in front of that foot, this leg kind of bent, arm back. Wow, she's quite flexible. I'm not quite her level yet. Chest proud. Yeah, it's a little bit adductors, a little bit lats. Neck if you involve it. I don't know. I'll try that one a few more times and evaluate when I want to keep that one in my routine, but I'm definitely looking for a few full body stretches that can kind of get me the most bang for my buck for my whole body. And now I'm going to work on my middle split progressions. So I'm going to start that with a horse stance. So you can do feet together, out an angle once, then straight 2, 3, 4, 5. And bring it back and go down. I'm just going to hold this for another 40 seconds if I can. Just getting the blood flowing to my legs because we got a lot of leg work now. All those splits and folds. 15 seconds. Oh, phew. That's a killer. All right, the frog stretch. This one's a pretty good one. I'm going to aim the camera down so you can see what's going on down here. Turn the mat sideways a bit. Maybe even put it in half to give me a little bit more padding. Oh wow. Ooh. Good stretch in the adductors. Those are the muscles in your inner thigh. They help bring your legs towards the center line of your body. And they're also quite powerful muscles. Small but mighty. I'm going to do this for a little bit more. Just work in different positions. All right. Now, isometric middle split hold. If you want to do a middle split, try to do this with me. So I'm just going to go down hold it on one side. Now you'll notice if you're already kind of flexible, you might feel a little pinching here. And that's because your leg is hitting your hip joint. So what you need to do is lean forward to allow space for that. Or rotate your leg upwards so your foot is pointing upwards. Your foot is pointing upwards. So I'm going to hold this for a minute on each side. Give another 35 seconds or so. And really work with it, right? It's not really just about finding one spot and staying there. Subtle movements of your foot and leg will change where the tension is. You're going to want to stretch all those things that are tense. And for max points, even try to pull your leg towards you through the ground. Add a little resistance there, strengthen while you lengthen. And then switch sides. Again, lean forward if you have to. And explore different movements within the stretch. It's an exploration of your body. It doesn't have to feel like a chore. Our bodies are this great gift we've been handed. Wouldn't it be cool to really fully understand it and master it? I feel a lot of tension right here. All right. So this is the last thing of this section, which is just the middle split itself. Now, last I tried, I could get my foot basically from that end to this end. I don't expect I'll have progressed much, but let's see. Oh, actually, might have progressed a little bit already. Wait, look at that. Oof. Don't forget to hydrate. Now you can also add as a bonus proper breathing. P&F stretching. Breathe through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And that should relax your system a bit. Yeah, I think literally I can progress a tiny bit more than I could last time. That's great. It's these daily efforts that are going to make a difference. That's kind of one secret life hack that everybody like consciously knows, but it's so hard for everyone to implement. I mean, even me. We always want to get to the end goal right away. But the truth is, it's the journey that counts. Enjoy the journey, the everyday small victories, the small daily additions, progress towards your goal, and then you wake up a year or two from now and you'll be there. Now, how long should you hold a split? Well, it's kind of hotly debated, but rather, how long should you hold any stretch? Whoa. Well, I think the science says you don't really need to do much more than 60 seconds. But some people are all about doing it for a few minutes. If you have the time, it can't really hurt to do a few extra seconds. Okay. Now I'm going to work on my front split progressions. So let's turn this mat a little bit so I can still face you. Maybe raise this camera a bit. Don't need that anymore. I'm just going to do a deep lunge here. Get into this. Just trying to work these muscles that I'm about to stretch here. Okay, I'm going to do the other side. Whoops, don't tip over. My number one fan is these bots. They come to every stream. How dedicated. All right, the pigeon pose. I really like this one. There's a couple ways to do it. They each affect your leg a slightly different way. Pick a leg, put it on top of your other leg like this, and you can just work from here if you already feel a stretch. Otherwise, you might have to pull on your leg a little bit. Really feel a nice little stretch in your glutes. And maybe up your leg a little bit. And again, just play with it. Find what feels good to you. And then the other side. Oh, the camera might be a bit too high. Oh. Sorry about that. Is that better? Okay. Oh. Try adjusting the position of either leg and moving it in various ways until you find something that feels good to you. Now I'll quickly demonstrate the other way to do that as well. Just kind of having one leg back, and one leg kind of out like this. If you're flexible, you can really put it over there. And then just work with that. And I like doing both of the variations. because this one definitely affects my muscles in a slightly different way, which is good. I want to stretch them in every which way that I can. And of course, make sure to do the other leg. Which is definitely not flexible in quite the same way. You're going to invariably find some imbalances in your body. That's a good thing. It means now you know what you can work on. I mean, I guess it's not good that you have imbalances, but it's better to find out you have them than be in the dark about them. Okay, that feels pretty good. So next up, I'm going to be just practicing 3 different aspects of the front split. And I'm going to go through them each at a time for about 45 seconds. This is where I'm going to do, start my left leg forward, and it's going to be bent. And I'm going to feel the stretch of my hamstring here. Oof. I'm so stiff. Now I'm going to do the same position basically, but I'm going to focus on the stretch in my right quad and my adductors. Notice if you put different emphasis where your weight is shifted and where you're leaning, you can target those more. And those are going to need stretching too. I'm not quite at the point where I can cleanly stretch them both at the exact same time. They kind of, but I definitely can feel them, target them better when I'm giving them dedicated attention. And then lastly, I'm going to straighten out this leg. String. And I definitely feel that stretch. It goes away if you don't keep stretching. Too much sitting at a desk or playing video games on my computer. All right, and let's repeat that on the other leg. Oh. Again, right leg forward, bent. We're going to work on this hamstring from the bent position, which I noticed does a little bit different effect than doing the straight leg. So I do it separately. This is also a good one I invite you to do after you do your hamstring exercises. Probably the perfect time. All right, same thing, bent leg, but I'm going to shift my weight a little bit and try to target my left quads and the adductors. Definitely feel that. The reverse tabletop knee tap stretches a similar muscle, but this one's a bit higher now. I'm stretching it closer to my groin. The other one, stretch it closer to the knee, I found. So again, the more the merrier, really, if you got the time. And actually, if you want to stretch and still watch your favorite TV shows, I found that you can do it at the same time. Now straighten this leg out, go back to the hamstring. So, you know, we all like watching TV, right? Or listening to a podcast, something. You don't necessarily have to set aside separate time for stretching. The first couple of times, yeah, get the form, you know, get the feeling, you know. But after doing it a bunch of times, you can totally stretch while watching TV. You know, just get on the floor in front of your couch. It's a good way to save time. And that was my full stretching routine. Now I feel like I need to add some upper body stuff to it. Because overall, I feel like my legs got a lot of stretching and they feel pretty good, but upper body. So I'm gonna do a couple of stretches that I know for my upper body. And maybe at some point we can do, you know, I remember someone did some stretches for me once. They were able to like manipulate my body. It was like partner stretching or something. And they were able to like do things that were quite strange, you know, like partner stretching. Maybe we'll do some of that sometime. I'll do the one we used to do in gym class all the time. This is another one where you can totally shift your shoulder around and feel a stretch in a slightly different place. It's good. On the other side. I think since the next activity I've scheduled is not till 8, I'm going to do some mobility stuff, some calisthenics exercises that I'm working on. That's good. Oof. Probably pinching the microphone here. I need a better solution for this. I don't really know. I'm just wrapping around my neck. You just have to do. What do you do if you don't have a shirt to attach it to? Okay, that feels pretty good to me. So like I said, I'm going to practice. Maybe I'll start with frog stand. This is a low to the ground. This is just kind of developing my hand strength. But it's definitely a lot of the whole upper body. I'm noticing it in my hands, forearms, fingers, even in my lats and my back and my delts. Pinch even in my triceps. It's crazy. Okay. And then I like to add to my new daily routine. Actually, I'm doing it like twice a day now, but I'm getting better very quickly doing these wall handstands. So it's kind of hard to see. I'll bring the camera over. As best I can. But if I'm too close, you can't see it. But, okay. So my goal here is I'm focusing on just getting up as softly as I can. If you hear me bang against the wall, well, I don't want that either. Nice, soft, gentle rise to the top. And then I'm gonna come down. Oops, not enough energy. And also I notice I'm kind of dashing into it. So I want to more and more take away the dash and just be able to do it from a standing position. But I kind of needed that before to get my momentum. But I'll put the momentum more in the kick. Practice makes perfect. And also switch legs. Kick up with the other leg. That was a good one. Nice and gentle. Wow, the ones where I don't quite make it up, whew, those are the most taxing on my body for sure. Wow. Whew. Oh, hey, Julie. Oh, thank you. You're so kind. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just started. I'm a newbie streamer, but I'm just trying to do what I can to offer some good content to help people live healthy lives. There's so much fighting in the world, you know? Everyone's so angry. I just want to give a little love. So you're going to join me on a workout one of these days? Or meditation? I'd love the company. Just me and you get one-on-one attention, one-on-one tutoring, all for free. How about that? Oh yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better. I'm cheering for you to get strong and healthy real soon. But yeah, I'm doing a meditation right after this. mindfulness meditation. Wow, that was really good. One of the best ones I've done. Yeah, of course. I want everyone to be strong and healthy. Is it really bad? You got like the flu or something? Wow. Whew. COVID again. That's still around? Oh man, I guess they say it's around forever these days. When COVID happened, I was like right on getting my COVID shots. I got the first one, I don't know. I'm just glad that it's not a raging virus that kills 50% of the people who get it. But that could happen someday, you know? I think we got lucky with COVID. I mean, if you look at past pandemics, I think they were a lot deadlier. Like, I think there were, like, for example, of course, the bubonic plague, right? Like, that killed 1 in 3 people, I believe, in Europe. 1 in 3 people died. That's crazy. That would be so many people today. But even other outbreaks, I'm not really sure about the statistics, but you know, there was like the Spanish flu and other things like that. But anyways, enough of that. I hope you get healthy soon. And if you're not feeling too sick, I invite you to join me in a meditation. And this will help quite a bit actually with your overall health. Unfortunately, you can't get rid of COVID with meditation, but it can make you feel better. Okay. Yeah, just come and go as you please. These are recorded. People can join in later if they want to check out the meditation. Now let me just ask, are you a very beginner or kind of intermediate? Because I can tailor it to you. It looks like it's just me and you here, so you get a personalized, tailored meditation session from me to you. Oh wow. Well, now's as good a time to start as ever. So I invite you to find a seat if you're not already seated, and take an alert and upright posture. Ideally, we don't want to be leaning back because you might find yourself slumping and that's not good for your back. But you're sick, so do whatever feels good to you. Close your eyes. Let's just take 3 deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. I want you to focus on your breath, wherever it feels, wherever it's most prominent. And we're going to set that as your anchor. And I invite you to place the spotlight of your breath all the way through the out breath and back. Now, as you may know, I'm a science guy. I was a scientist at NASA Ames for about a decade. I'm not into the woo-woo, but meditation is true because everybody gets distracted. Seconds, 7 seconds, or about what's for dinner tonight? Is my daughter going to call me after she leaves school? The fight you might have just had with your friend, or the job you just applied for. Did I get it? Did I get it? Something will distract you. And that's the third part. Oh, it's probably my fault. Well, just hear what you can and practice as you can. If you can understand some of it, that's better than nothing. And maybe you'll just have to show up for a few more episodes. That won't be too bad, would it? So let's just practice that. Again, we're strengthening the neural connections in our brain regarding awareness or focus, meta-awareness, and executive control. Focusing on our anchor, noticing when we get distracted, and gently pulling our attention back to our breath. Over and over and over again. This is just one practice, and we'll start with this one for now because it's the most fundamental. But there'll be many more if you stick around for future sessions. I'll be happy to tell you all about them. But for now, let's stick to the breath. And again, if you notice you've been distracted, it's perfectly okay. That's actually a good thing. Just gently pull your attention back to your breath. if you can, I'd like you to take stock of your overall attitude right now. Any feelings that come up? Is there any tension? Any contraction? And if there is, that's perfectly okay too. Just notice it. Observe it like you're looking at it from the third person. And then come back to your breath. And if you can, try to embody an attitude of ease and openness. Of complete acceptance to whatever you experience. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow. What's up, Dharmadam? Is this a new screen name or something? I thought you had already followed me. How's it going? Oh, well, nice. Now I got an extra follower. We're just doing a little meditation here. I'm showing Julie the ropes for whenever. What's going on with you? That's awesome. Thanks for letting me know, Julie. I really do hope you feel better soon. And if I had magical powers, I would reach out to you and heal you. Maybe someday. Photoshop. Photoshop in what? Are you making album art? Nice. And if I still have you here, Julie, I also want to point out that, and this is a question a lot of beginners have, they think often that meditation requires sitting in a quiet room with your eyes closed. But no, that just makes it easier for beginners. Actually, very quickly you learn how to meditate in any situation. You could be at a rave, right? You could be on the operating table, getting surgery and meditating, right? Any experience is appropriate for meditation. And with practice, you learn to integrate meditation into your life. That's cool. Can you show us some of those, Dom? Or are they secret until they're finished? Am I personally able to meditate at a rave? I could. It's certainly more difficult than in a nice quiet space where there's fewer distractions. But the essence is the same, and I've been meditating for years now, so I think I could do it. I think really you only need a couple months of practice, I mean, depending on how often you practice, to really kind of get the hang of what's going on. But the gist of it is that your anchor, which we established as your breath, can be any anchor. And that's just mindfulness of the breath, where your attention or your focus is on one specific object. There are other techniques where your attention is broader and not on any specific object, but it kind of dances between things that come up. Now you still stay in the present moment because you don't attach yourself or fuse yourself to any of them. But you just take a broad awareness. And that's probably what I would do with meditating in a rave, because there's a lot going on and I would want to experience it and explore it. But all said and done, I'm certainly beginner. When you compare me to the great masters, those people have meditated for so long, they've developed such impressive minds that they can, for example, not react to pain. Right, there was a Buddhist monk in, I believe, the 60s, who was protesting the Vietnamese government's treatment of Buddhist monks at the time. And he set himself on fire. You can actually Google the image. It became like one of the most iconic images ever. And the eyewitness accounts, the people who were there, the first-hand reports, said that he didn't twitch a muscle or make a single noise. Or like you or me, we lit ourselves on fire, we'd be like, ah! This guy was just meditating in total peace while his body was lit completely on fire and he just burned away, right? Meditation can teach you powerful ways to make sensations and experiences more real and more immersive, but it can also teach you to step back from experiences so they're not as jolting or painful or harmful. So he noticed the pain, but it was that he didn't need to react to the pain like we do. Like if we get poked by something sharp, we're going to be like, ow, that hurts. We're going to have a reaction. Through enough mental training, through enough meditation, you can completely train your mind to not experience the pain in the same way. It's incredible. And again, this is just one tiny aspect of mindfulness. Really, the mind is the superpower of humans. It's just that so few people realize it. I'm convinced that meditation is so powerful that once the world wakes up to the reality of how powerful it is It's going to be something that kids are taught in school. They're going to learn it in elementary school. There's going to be like a dedicated 2 or 3 hours of meditation every day, all the way through middle school and high school. Our workplaces will have a dedicated hour of meditation, right? It's going to be integrated into our lives in the same way that we know that it's important to exercise to stay healthy. It's important to eat healthy to be healthy. And it's going to eventually be realized it's important to meditate to be healthy. Because your mind is much like a muscle and it needs to be exercised if you want to really use it to its fullest extent. And meditation is the tool to do so. I think the hardest part for people is just getting started. We're all so busy. We got school, we got work, we got kids. Well, if you have kids, I invite you to get your kids meditating. Get them started young and they will see profound benefits to their life and well-being. I wish I started when I was a kid. I only picked it up in my early 30s. Maybe late 20s. How has your practice so far been going? Have you been noticing you're getting distracted and then pulling your attention back? It does. Practice makes perfect, as they say. But it's one of those things once you get the hang of it, it kind of gets a little bit easier and faster to pick up. The first few times it's a little it's weird, I don't know if I'm doing this right. That's why I ultimately suggest that people who are serious accompany it with a meditation app, such as the Waking Up app by Sam Harris. Because he's got a structured introductory course that covers all the important aspects of meditation, as well as the sort of conceptual stuff that's important to understand. Now, I'm doing my best to relay that stuff in these meditations, but there's kind of a lot to cover. But another thing that's really nice about the app is that they have a lot of discussions with advanced meditation practitioners, people who have done it for, 50 years. And so with that amount of practice under your belt, there's certain insights that they can offer that are just beyond me, that I could never begin to, I just don't have that amount of experience. But maybe someday. And of course, from me listening to those conversations, I can relay much of what I hear and learn. So that's what I do here. But you'll find many, many benefits from learning to sharpen and hone your attention in this way. And one of the ones I realize myself all the time, in that it's something that I see in my daily life, is my attention to how I eat. Most of my life, when I ate, I just wolfed down my food. I always thought food, the whole point of food is to just give your body energy to do other things. So I'm just going to eat as quickly as I can. I didn't really enjoy food. Okay, I like the taste of a nice, delicious pizza and chocolate cake, but there's a difference between just wolfing something down and really savoring the taste and texture of every single bite. And this is especially true if you can take the time to just drop everything else, forget all the stuff that's going on in your mind while you sit down and have a meal. And the difference is profound. Think about the difference between, okay, yeah, I really appreciate you coming by. I'll be around. You know how to reach me. I'm here every single day, twice a day. So get some rest. I hope you feel better soon. And hopefully I'll see you around. Thank you. Good night. I don't know if there's anyone else but bots left in the channel, but if you're there and you're just shy, that's all right. Excuse me. I invite you to just focus on your breath. Don't forget to adjust your posture if you need to. Do a little stretching. Don't need to be uncomfortable. Find a comfortable position. And if you're just joining, welcome. We're doing some mindfulness meditation here, specifically mindfulness of the breath. And what you want to do is just focus your attention on wherever your breath feels strongest to you. And then when you find yourself distracted, and pull your attention back to your breath without judgment. And just repeat that process over and over. It's that simple. And again, whenever you notice you're distracted, it's perfectly okay. In fact, that's a win. And just gently pull your attention back to your breath. And if you want to try a slightly new technique here, when you notice you're distracted, put a label on what distracted you. Is it a feeling? Are you planning for the future? You can just say planning, and then pull your attention back. Are you remembering something from the past? You can just say remembering, and then pull your attention back. Just thinking about something, you can say thinking. It doesn't have to be exact or perfect. But in this way, you can get some sense of where your mind is going. Are you finding that you're getting distracted constantly because you're planning for the future? Or is it that you keep going back to the past, keep remembering something? You don't need to judge yourself one way or another. It doesn't matter. It's planning or remembering or thinking or feeling. Just notice it. And come back to the breath. Just sit up here a little bit. Stretch. I can probably practice my splits while I meditate. Kill two birds with one stone. Wow, this actually works perfectly, this chair. Even go a bit higher. Let me grab this. There we go. pretty good. I can actually stretch pretty well. It's a little distracting when I slip. If you're still with me, for the last few minutes here, what I want you to do is to drop all efforting, all effort trying to do the focus, trying to redirect. Just open your consciousness to everything. Just notice things, but don't get attached to them. Just be open and at peace. All right. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes, give your body a little stretch. And I thank you for joining me tonight. If there's anybody who's watching who's not one of those bots, if you have any questions or comments, you can ask it now. I'll stick around for a few minutes. Otherwise, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Do a few more of my wall handstands. Yeah, try the other leg too. All right. Looks like that's everyone. So I'll see you guys all tomorrow evening.